am successful. I look for and find opportunities where others see nothing. I am a lifetime learner. I am solution focused. I see only solutions. I am a solution. Welcome to the Be Transformed Tribe on Clubhouse. I'm the catalyst. My name is Lanre Olusola. And this is a dual space for practical, spirit-led, interventions and conversations that help you overcome every life challenge that you have. So are you struggling with identity? Are you struggling with purpose? Are you struggling with knowing yourself? Are you struggling with confidence, fear, anxiety, depression, the imposter syndrome? Are you struggling with your career or your business? Whatever it is that your struggles are, this is the right place to be. Together with the co-panelists that I have, we're going to be helping you practically deal with the issues. And, today we're talking about deep self-reflection and life audit. And I'm joined by two phenomenal and incredible people, Mama Okpe and Pastor Abraham. So I'm going to let Mama Okpe unmute and introduce herself, and then Pastor Abraham is going to come in and introduce himself, and then we will get cracking.
Everybody, it's great to be here. Thank you, TC, for this opportunity to be on the panel with you tonight. It's always a pleasure. And yes, my name is Opoluwa. I'm an integrative life coach. I'm a health and wellness coach and consultant, and which I'm very, very passionate about. And I'm glad to be. I'm also a TC's mentee. I'm in CICMP. I'm on the second level. Another exciting year to look forward to. So it's great to be here.
Thank you very much, Mama Okpe, and you're welcome to the Be Transformed Tribe on Clubhouse, and you're live global. So, this conversation, we're taking it global on YouTube. All right, Pastor Abraham, good evening. Please introduce yourself. Let's know who you are. Let's know what you do. Over to you.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is Abraham Adeniji. I'm a visionary leader, passionate about holistic people development. And I'm a pastor. Since I've joined this community, I'm now a life coach.
I love that. I love that. Please keep the introduction going.
Yeah, I'm the CEO of ZAV Energy Limited. I'm here, my humble self, and Mama Okpe. I want to, sincerely thank TC for this privilege. I'm not taking it for granted. It's a privilege. It's a privilege. And I know Mama Okpe and I, my humble self, are going to be the flight attendants tonight. And we have our chief pilot, the captain of the flight. And a flight that is about to take off now.
Wow.
That's the person of the catalyst. And I also call you the lion that roars.
Wow.
Dr. Lanre Olusola.
Wow. I'd like to know why you call me the lion that roars. Tell me about that. Tell me about that before we get into the conversation.
First, there is a symbol of lion that you use, and then the lion roars. There's a way the lion roars. That's one. Then another thing, anytime you speak, there's something that roars. People don't, even if you know what the meaning of what you're about to talk about, we know it, but you come out from different angle and everybody is wow. So you roar every time you speak. The lion that roars.
Wow, that's a new one. I like that. Listeners, I hope you're picking up on that. This is not just another clubhouse room. This is not just another YouTube conversation. This is a journey towards your transformation. This is a journey towards approaching the dreams that you've always had. This is a journey towards living the life that you've always, always desired to live. So let's just dive into the conversation. I'm just going to be sitting on a hot seat, and I'm going to hand over to Mama Okpe and Pastor Abraham to guide us and lead us in the conversation. Over to you, both of you.
Oh, okay. Mama Okpe, thank you for, being with me tonight. I have you beside me. I know I'm safe. Tonight, I'm expectant tonight, and I'm certain that all the listeners, the viewers on both Clubhouse and the YouTube are also expectant. Now, tonight's topic is very deep. In fact, at the sound of that topic, the phrase, it's mind-blowing alone. And I know by the time we delve into it and the TC brings the wealth of knowledge into it, tonight everybody is going to go back home transformed, uplifting, and energized tonight. All right, I would start with a question that I know will be the foundation to everything we're going to be doing tonight. Yeah, Mama Okpe, can I?
Yes, please go ahead.
Can I start, ma? All right. Okay, TC, the lion that roars. What exactly is self-reflection and life audit? And why is this so important to us as human beings?
Wow, this is a very, very deep question and very broad and wide question. So I'm going to try as much as possible, to narrow down the answer. Deep self-reflection and life audit. Let me take it from life audit. Imagine that somebody offers you $10 million. Would you take it? I'm sure many of us will take it if, there are no strings attached. And then they offer you $100 million. That is very mouth-watering. And then they offer you $1 billion. But they say to you that I'm going to give you $1 billion tonight on one condition, right? If you take it, you will not wake up tomorrow morning. So $1 billion, but if you take it, you will not wake up tomorrow morning. I know of a certainty that I will not take it. I don't know about you, Pastor Abraham. Neither do I know about you, Mama Okpe. I kind of think what you will do, but let me ask you, Pastor Abraham, would you take the $1 billion not to wake up tomorrow morning?
No, I won't take it. What for?
No way.
Wow. Mama Okpe, what about you? So let me ask you, why would you refuse $1 billion, over a period of 6 hours? 6 hours, man, $1 billion. $1 billion. Why, Pastor Abraham, why would you refuse it?
There's no point. What will I do? What will I do with $1 billion within 6 hours? I need my life to enjoy the $1 billion.
Exactly the same thing. My
Mama
life is
Okpe,
worth
what
more
about
than
you?
the $1 billion that they're offering. So,
Wow. It's quite interesting because we don't place this much value on our lives on a daily basis. You don't realize that the most valuable thing that you have is your life. The most valuable thing that you own or you are in custody of is your life. No matter how much anybody gives you, you say to them, nah, my life is worth more than that. How many of us actually do an audit of how valuable our lives are? So let me begin to break it down. Everything that consists of your life, your breath. During COVID, we know how expensive oxygen was. a canister of oxygen was about 150,000 naira. So if we break that down, for a canister of oxygen a day, that's 150,000 naira, right? How many days have you lived on Earth? So Mama, well, let's just do a quick calculation. So 365 times
Before.
what? 65 years old? 64. So 365 times 64. Can someone please work that out for me? 365 times 64. Let's quickly do the math, right? 365 times 64 times 150,000. Wow. The computer gave me error. We cannot calculate how much oxygen you have consumed. For the people that have the scientific calculator, please put it into the chat room for me. Right, guys, right? 365 times 64 times 150,000 naira. That's how much value, right, of oxygen you have consumed. That's how much your life is valued at. How many of you will give up your health and your well-being for money? A lot of us work the entirety of our lives, but use everything that we have made to take care of our health in old age because we do not invest right in our health. So if I just break down breath and health, you will understand how valuable your life is. And then let's begin to bring in your children. Oh, yes. Let's begin to bring in your children. How many of you will sell your children? How many of you will sell your grandchildren? And how much money are you going to place on their value? Okay, let's talk about relationships that you have. Talk about your mom, your dad, your siblings. Let's talk about, extended, relationships that you have. I want you to try and value that. That is just some dimensions of your life. So the most valuable thing that you have is your life. But guess what? Many of us go through life without really doing a valuation of our lives, without actually taking an audit of our lives, without actually understanding that our life consists of 12 most critical areas. And it's important for us to live life to the fullest, for us to find fulfillment, satisfaction, peace in life. You must audit. It was Einstein that says that an unexamined life is not worth living. So, for you to live a fulfilled, satisfying, a peaceful, harmonious life, which is what we all desire, you need to sit down and do a real audit of your life. Now, it is in the aspiration to audit your life that you go into deep reflection. There is no way that you can audit your life without going into a deep self-reflection. And when we talk about deep self-reflection, we're talking about you have to audit why you are here. What is the purpose for your existence? You have to audit who you are and who you are not. You have to audit what you are and what you are not, what I call your identity. You have to audit what your passions, your interests are. You have to audit what gifts and talents you have. You have to audit what solution you were born to be. You have to audit how you think. You have to audit how you make decisions. You have to audit how you perceive life and see life. You have to audit what your vocation is, what your knowledge, your level of knowledge, your level of ignorance is. Oh yes, you have to audit how you are living your life. Are you living your life aspiring to acquire possessions? Are you living your life just to be busy? Oh yes, to be able to tick it, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. Or are you being? Are you living out of your being? You need to audit whether you are being you are doing or you are having. Oh, yes. You need to audit where you live in terms of time dimensions. You need to audit whether you are constantly living in the past. You are driving your car with your eyes always on the back. That's prone to a lot of accidents. A lot of us are always checking and making decisions about the future based on the mistakes, the errors, or the fears of the past. Oh, a lot of us are anxious about the future. So we neither live in the past or the present. We are constantly in the future, such that we never enjoy the benefits of today. We never enjoy the benefits of now. We never live in the present. So if you live in the past, you will constantly be struggling with depression. If you live in the future, you will constantly be struggling with anxiety, worry, panic. But if you live in today, right, you will realize that today is the only gift that you have to create the future of your desires. You would realize that there's actually nowhere that you ever arrive at that is called a tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. All you have is now. And so, it is the decisions that you make now or the decisions you fail to make now that determines what happens in the next second and in the next second. So your life is unfolding in succession of seconds. And you have two decisions to make, a no or a yes. And if you are not self-reflecting as you are living, it will be impossible for you to make the right decisions now that will create the tomorrow of your desires. Now, you also need to know what your strengths are and your weaknesses. Oh my God. And there are 5 core strengths that you have, right? That you need to focus on, because many of us are always looking at our weaknesses. That which you focus on grows. That which you focus on amplifies. So are you focusing on your strengths or are you focusing on your weaknesses? You don't even know your weaknesses. I know what my 5 core strengths are. And one of my biggest strengths is I'm a coach. My second biggest strength is I deliver results. My third biggest strength is I'm optimist. I can't remember when last I thought that, it will not work. Or it is impossible. The people that work with me understand that in my own vocabulary, there's nothing called impossible. Oh yes, there's always a way. My fourth most powerful strength is I'm an empath. I feel and I connect with people at a deep level, spiritually, soulish, and emotionally and physically. And then my 5th top strength is I'm a timekeeper. Oh my God. I'm a timekeeper. I understand time. I have a relationship with time. I honor time, mine and everybody's time. So if you tell me to show up at 4 p.m., I'll be there at 3 p.m. waiting for everybody to show up. No matter who you are, whether you are a subordinate or whether you are a peer or whether you are a superior. Also, you need to, I'm still talking about audits. Life audit. You need to audit your values, your 5 core values, which is the software that combines with the operating system, your belief system that drives you. What are your core beliefs? What are your core values? Because the software and the operating system that drives you are intertwined into your belief system and your value system. You need to audit your personality. And your personality changes when your environment changes, because your personality is the coping mechanism that you developed as a result of the environment that you were nurtured in or you grew up in, or the environment that you found yourself in as you were evolving. So your personality is a coping mechanism that you develop to survive, to thrive, and to succeed in the various environments that you found yourself in. So how do you respond behaviorally to specific environments? You need to be able to do deep self-reflections because it will affect your productivity, your performance, and your profitability. You need to also, and you need to be able to do what we call an MBTI test, a Myers-Briggs type indicator test that helps you understand your personality type. Now, you also need to do what we call a representational systems test that helps you understand how you perceive, how you receive, and how you internalize information from your environment. Because your perception is your reality. You also need to do an audit of how you hear. How you see is your perception test. That is your representational system. How you hear affects what you hear. How you see affects what you see. And we know that it is according to how I see, according to how I hear, and according to how I feel. Now, how you feel is your emotional intelligence test. Now, and we're talking about your senses, right? There's a sixth dimension, which is your spiritual dimension, right? Have you ever done a spiritual intelligence test to assess your level of spiritual functionality? There's also a financial intelligence test that you need to do. There's also the test of your energy level and that which you prioritize, what we call it Pareto's. So you see, I've broken it down, and there's a lot more. These are by all means not just the only tests that you need to do, not just the only audits that you need to do, but just some critical ones. Now, it is the intel that you get from this, the knowledge you get from this that you now begin to meditate on, process, and open your eyes, open your ears, and position yourself to have a better understanding of. And this is what we call the journey towards self-mastery, because the journey towards self-mastery takes 6 steps. Self-awareness. So when you take all of these tests, then you are aware that this is what it says about me. Then you give yourself the permission to explore, right? And as you explore, as you begin to allow yourself to evolve, right, which is the second level, then you begin to discover more things. Why do I behave this way with this person? Why does this happen to me when I'm in this environment? Why is this the situation, that makes me feel stuck? Why does this thing annoy me? Why am I so passionate about this? You begin to discover. And then from self-discovery, you get to have a deep understanding of yourself. Now, that whole process of self-awareness, self-exploration, self-discovery is we're talking about deep reflection. You need to be journaling. You need to be asking yourself the right questions, because when you get to the place of self-understanding, that's where self-transformation begins. And transformation is the key. Romans 12:2 says, do not be conformed to the operating systems or the software of the world, but be transformed by the software, right, that is from heaven, the kingdom software and the kingdom operating systems, so that, your life may become as God has ordained it, as you have desired or dreamt it to be. And then it is from a place of self-understanding that you begin to gift yourself self-love. And it is when you gift yourself self-love, when you believe that you can receive it, when you believe that you deserve it, that you can give somebody. It is when you believe that you deserve it that you can receive from somebody. If you do not believe that you deserve love, it will be impossible for you to receive love from outside. So you must first understand, what is it that is getting in my way of loving myself just the way that I am, in appreciating myself just the way that I am, and overcoming that and dealing with that and gifting yourself self-love. Then you can now give somebody else self-love. I yield the mic. I said to you that you were asking me a very deep question.
Thank you very much, TC. As usual, we asked one question and you've gone far and wide. You've even touched some of the questions we wanted to ask. It's like, oh my days, TC has done it again. Some of the questions I was going to ask, you've already answered them, but let me try to find 1 or 2 more questions that you have not yet, that maybe you can still expand on. So, how, we're trying to create a map, a clear map for our journey. How are we going to create that clear map after reflecting and auditing? How do we now then sit down and create a clear map?
Well, thank you very much, Mama. A very profound question. So this is just all the information that you're getting, from all of these audits is simply information. I call it knowledge. Okay. Now, knowledge, in itself is not enough. Now, asking yourself, so what? So I have all of this knowledge now. So what is the key? So by asking yourself, so what am I supposed to now do with this information? And this is where the journey of discovery or fulfillment of purpose comes in. You've been given all of this. You have acquired all of this for a reason, to help you fulfill your purpose with ease. And that is why the Bible says that my own people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge. They lack knowledge about themselves. They lack knowledge about how this entity interacts with its environment. They lack knowledge about how this entity, right, can collaborate with its environment. And when I talk about environment, I'm talking about physical environment, I'm talking about relational environment, I'm talking about psychological environment, I'm talking about spiritual environment. So I'm not just talking about a physical space. I'm talking about everything, right, that exists outside of you. Everything that exists outside of your cognitive being, which means that your emotional being, your spiritual being, your relational being, your financial being, it is to now ask yourself, with all of this, right, that I now know about myself, what am I meant to do with it so that I can be fully optimized in the fulfillment of my purpose? Because that's the reason why you had to be born. That's the reason why you are still alive, because your purpose is still relevant. So, how do I use my knowledge and my understanding of myself to fully optimize myself and to fully ensure that this my journey is a worthwhile journey? Because life is a journey. So, you now begin to ask yourself, where am I going? That is, where's my destination? And where am I? And what is the gap? And how do I bridge the gap? What do I bridge the gap with? Who do I need to support me, to collaborate with me to bridge the gap? What do I need to acquire? What do I need to learn? What do I need to get rid of? You see, as you are doing your audits, you're going to ask yourself, what is working for me? What is not working for me? That is, what is working against me? So you now go to what we call the Eric model and you ask yourself, what is it that I need to stop doing that is getting in my way of full optimization? What is it that I'm not yet doing that I need to start doing that will make my pathway smooth? And when I say smooth, I'm not saying that you will not have challenges. I'm not saying you will not have ups and downs. Your mindset is fixed on your on your purpose, and you know that every experience is part of the journey. So it's not suffering. It is an opportunity to learn, to progress, and to grow. So you're not seeing it as something is working against me. Oh, you're not seeing it as, oh, I'm suffering. You are seeing it as part of the journey. And because you are seeing it as part of the journey, right, it's smooth sailing. For the joy that was set before him, he endured the process to the destination, which was the cross. Likewise, you, right? You must know where you're going. You must know where you're coming from. You must know where you are. And you must know what the gaps are. You must know what is stopping you, what is getting in your way, what you are doing right that you need to continue doing. And it's impossible for you to achieve this without constant, consistent deep self-reflection. Constant, consistent, deep self-reflection, you can only do it through meditation, through living a meditated life. That is a lifestyle of meditation, a lifestyle of sitting down and reflecting. The Bible says that go into your closet, shut the door, and quieten all the noise and do a deep dive and a deep reflection. So it's about what you have within. It's about who you are within that really truly infects and affects and influences what happens without. So it's about ensuring that this is your own journey. Now you will realize that if this is your process, if this is the model that you are living your life with, then what other people are saying outside or what other people are doing outside really doesn't really matter that much. And this is where I find that a lot of people miss it. Because they are not doing this that I've just described. They are not busy focusing on this that I've just described. Then they have enough time to be thinking, what is Pastor Abraham doing? Oh, wow. He's wearing a cream shirt. Oh, wow. Maybe me too, I should be wearing cream shirt. Oh, Pastor Abraham has a earpiece, black earpiece. Wow, it's very nice. So maybe me too, I should go and buy it. If you're on the pathway to trying to understand and break down all of these things and ensure that it becomes the wisdom that guides every decision you make, you will not have the time to be wasting, to be coveting what other people have, to be comparing yourself with other people, which is what brings frustration for many of us, because your path is different from my path. You are different from me. I am unique. You can never be me, no matter how much you copy. You can only be a best copycat if you copy me. A best copycat, you can never be me. So you are already taking. Your fingerprints is unique. Nobody has your fingerprint. Your iris, nobody has. Your DNA, nobody has. You are one of a kind. You are unique. There's no one like you. Be the very best version of you that shows up every day. And this is what you should wake up to do. It says, let your light so shine before men that they will see your good works and people will say, wow, Father, we give you glory on behalf of this person. Excellence, the spirit of excellence in everything you do, right? Based on your what makes you you, not what makes anybody else them. Don't compare your standard of excellence with somebody else. Compare your standard of excellence with you, such that the only person that you are trying to be better at is you. So every day, you're working to fulfill your mandate, to fulfill your purpose, to be a better version of yourself, and to live by the spirit of excellence. I yield the mic.
Wow. TC, thank you so very much. I'm energized. I'm energized. Ah, well, it's been very good. I mean, TC, I want to know, in the course of your journey as the catalyst, I know you must have encountered um, people that when I mean they have self-doubt and fear when confronting with uncomfortable truth during deep self-reflection. I know you. So how can someone overcome? Because I know, I mean, I look at myself. Um, I mean, one of the reasons why I delayed, but I thank God I'm into it now, is because of this. You know, sometimes you don't want to leave something. Sometimes you don't want to accept some truth. How can someone overcome self-doubt and fear when, I mean, confronting with uncomfortable truth during deep self-reflection and life audit?
All right. Thank you very much, Pastor Abraham. The very first thing I'd like to say to anyone that, if you want to build a house, you must first build a foundation. So the type of house you want to build is what determines the type of foundation that you build. Or the type of foundation that you build is what determines the kind of house that you can build. So whichever one, right? The foundation is the very first thing that you need to build so that it can carry the building you want to put upon it. So there's no point in building anything, if the foundation cannot carry it. So what is the foundation that you build your life upon? It's the foundation of love, self-love. So there's no point in you embarking on a journey of deep self-reflection when you do not love and accept yourself just the way that you are. And when we talk about love, we're not talking about a feeling. We're talking about what 1 Corinthians 13 describes, 14 key performance indicators of love. We're talking about what Galatians talks about, that the fruit of the Spirit is love. So that's the foundation. Are you patient with yourself? Are you kind to yourself? Do you believe the best of yourself? Do you hope the best of yourself? Do you forgive yourself? Do you show yourself, kindness? Do you forget and forgive every mistake that you have made? Are you long-suffering towards yourself? Do you understand that life is a journey? It's a marathon, not a sprint. Have you given up on yourself? Says love never dies. Have you given up on you? So the foundation of deep self-reflection, a worthwhile journey in deep self-reflection, starts with love. Without it, you will suffer from an imposter syndrome. Without it, you will suffer from lack of self-worth. Without it, you will suffer from lack of self-esteem, lack of self-belief. Without it, it will be difficult for you to accept that what you are hearing or what you are discovering is what is true, not what is the truth. There's a difference between what is true and what is truth. There is a different dynamic that you were created as. You may not be manifesting as that yet. That is the truth. God created you. He handcrafted you. He's a skillful workman that crafted you even before you were born. And there's no imperfect masterpiece. Everybody's a masterpiece. But you may not yet be showing up as that masterpiece, right? That is what is true. But the truth is that there's this treasure in that earthen vessel that is you. And that treasure is a masterpiece. And you need to put that earthen vessel through tests, trials of fire. Because if you want to bring out pure gold, what do? You set it on fire. If you want to bring petrol from crude oil, what do? You set it on fire. If you want to bring diesel from crude oil, you set it on fire. So the question is this, right? If you haven't built that foundation of love, how do you survive when you're on fire? If you do not realize that I am a masterpiece waiting to manifest, how would you subject yourself to trials and still hold an attitude of gratitude when you are going through it. It is when you know the end product that will come out that you would allow yourself to go through a process, or you would take yourself through a process. It is when you know that you're going to come out as pure gold of immense value that you allow yourself to go through the test of fire. Otherwise, what is the point? So if you are ignorant of the truth and you are constantly bantering what is true, and what is true can be you live in sin now. What is true can be you are struggling financially now. What is true can be you don't have a job now. What is true can be, you know what, you don't even understand, the principles of building a successful business now. What is true can be, you are struggling in your marriage now. That is true, but that is not truth. The truth is that you were fearfully and wonderfully made. The truth is that I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. The truth is that God's promises concerning you are yea and amen. The truth is that you were created in his image, after his likeness. The truth is that you were created and mandated to be fruitful, to multiply, to replenish, to subdue, and to dominate your field. The truth is that before you were formed in your mother's womb, God knew you and he created you for a purpose. Find it, or let it find you, and fulfill it, because therein, right, from within will manifest the truth that lies within you. That truth that is within you is what you need to go through deep self-reflection to realize and to manifest. I yield the mic.
Wow. Wow. That was another deep one. Simple question that went deep. Okay, so I'm going to ask this question, like, how often should we engage in this self-reflection and life audit? How often should we be doing it?
Every day, every moment, every second. Do you know why? Because who I was a minute ago is completely different from who I am now. Who I am now will be completely different from who I'll be in the next moment. The reason why is, we tend to look back with hindsight and identify things that we could have done better. Do you know why? Because we've had the benefit of time. We've had the benefit of experience. If you knew better, you would do better. At that moment, right? That was the best decision you could have made, because that's all the information that you had available to you in that moment. That is what you are in that moment. Now, 5 minutes after, oh my God, you've had the benefit of time, of experience, of reflection, of remembering certain things, or of seeing certain things. And so the way you think, they says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. So as you were thinking 5 minutes ago, right? As you were thinking in your heart 5 minutes ago, that influenced you to make the decision that you made 5 minutes ago is who you were 5 minutes ago. 5 minutes after, when you are doing a self-reflection with hindsight, with experience, you are a different guy, because as you are thinking in your heart, you are different. So how often should you be doing deep self-reflection? Per second. Oh, yes. And this is, it should become your lifestyle. And that is why God, when Joshua went to meet God and says, what's the secret of success? God says to him, meditate day and night. All through, be meditating, be doing deep self-reflection. Be doing deep self-reflection. See, if I open up my phone notes, you will see notes that I've taken as far as, 2010, 2000 you will see notes I've taken as far back as 2005. Yeah, reflection. I used to take notes in journals, and I had hundreds and hundreds of journals. So if I have to go back, and you must go back to your journaling, and
Wow.
taking notes is scriptural. It says write the vision down. That is, when you self-reflect, you should have a picture about yourself. You should have a deep image about yourself, a deep reflection about yourself. A reflection is an image. When we say deep self-reflection, it is an image about yourself. What do you see? How do you see yourself? You take notes, and then you ask yourself, how can I be better? You are supposed to write it down, read it, so that you can run with it. Within, this deep self-reflection, right? And capturing what you see lies the power that drives you to run, to become a much better person. So it is about you reading and infusing you with the power and the motivation that drives you, that puts you on the run to be a better version of yourself. So you should do it every time. I yield the mic.
Oh, okay. Thank you, TC. We're getting it from another dimension now. Wow. It's been you say I'm on the hot seat now. The fire is so much. Thank you, TC. Now, you were talking about the what is true and the truth, that there are two different things. And then, what is true is what we are facing right now. Yeah, because we are in it. That is true. But the truth is what God actually wants for us. That's another revelation, revelation. Thank you for that. Yeah, TC, I want to ask now, with all this, the way you have explained uh, deep self reflection and life audit, is it easy for someone to just, decide to go into it personally, or we need someone to guide us through, to help us through it? That's my question. And I see there's another follow-up question after this.
All right, thank you very much. I like to look at models, and I like to look at models that work, and I like to follow models that work. Okay, so if we go back into scriptures, you would find that Moses had a Joshua and a Caleb. You find that Elijah, or let me put it this way, you will find that Caleb and Joshua had a Moses.
Yeah.
And Moses had a Jethro. And you will find that Elisha had an Elijah. You will find that Esther had a Mordecai. You would find that Peter, James, John, Mary, Martha, Lazarus had a Jesus. You find that Apollo had a Paul. What am I saying? Oh my God. When you are driving a car, and this is your car, your life is a car, and you are the driver, you cannot see 360 degrees of the car. You cannot see the top of the car. You can't see underneath the car. You cannot even see some sides of the car. We call them blind spots. Yeah. Every image that has light reflection on it also has a shadow that is cast on it. So we have shadow sides to us. Unfortunately, you cannot see the back of your head. Can't see your back. That's your shadow. You need trusted people. People that are trained and equipped to be coaches, to be mentors, to be accountability partners,
Yeah.
right? That will help you on this journey. So it is not a luxury to have a life coach, honestly, because the most important thing in your life is your life. It's not a luxury. It's a necessity. Bill Gates says everybody needs a coach. He did not say everybody should get a coach. He says go and check that quote, Bill Gates. In the last 50 years, top 5 richest men in the world consistently in the last 50 years, Bill Gates. He says everybody needs a coach. Need. It is a need. Everybody needs a coach. Everybody needs a mentor. Someone that has gone and walked that path and made the mistakes that you can learn from their mistakes. Let's even forget about their successes. And this is where a lot of people miss it. What about their mistakes? They help you not to walk the path of destruction because they have already walked it. So you need not suffer the pain that they went through. So if you want to see higher, you lean on the shoulders of the people that have gone ahead of you. In history, we've seen it in history. People need coaches, people need mentors, people need the people that have gone ahead of them. Now, you need to walk behind the one that has gone ahead of you. And you need to be the one that is walking ahead of the one that is coming behind you. And that is what generational, progress is, right? Where you think generationally, you think legacy, and you constantly live for the people behind you to leave a legacy for them. And the person ahead of you is constantly leaving so that they can leave a legacy for you and they can handle you along that path. Now, this cannot happen. This cannot happen if you do not focus on your focus. You must focus on your own focus, which means that you must know who you are. You must know who you are not. You must know what you are. You must know what you are not. You must know why you are here. You must know the solution that you were born to be. You must know where you are going. Now, when you have discovered that, you must now create you must create your path, walk your path, or allow your path to find you. And you must be fully dedicated to it every second. Now, when you are, you don't have the time or the luxury to be distracted. Now, everybody has a race to run. Everybody has a race to run. Are you going to win in your own race? If you study sprinters, if you study 100 meters, track experts, when the fastest guys are on the track, their eyes are set like a flint. They focus on their own track. They focus on their own race. They focus on the destination. They don't look to the right. They don't look to the left to see who is coming, who is not coming. It will slow down your pace and your momentum. It is only at the end when you're about to hit the tape that you see them checking whether they should slow down, right? But 99% of the race, they focus on their focus, they stay on their lane, and they run their own race. You should as well. I yield the mic.
Okay. Mama, but please, I'm going to, after this question, I will yield
Absolutely.
to you,
Please go ahead.
I mean, this is getting so interesting. I don't know when we are finishing, but a lot of questions are just coming as TC, keep roaring like the lion himself. Wow, this is too much tonight. Yeah. Now, everybody, and now the viewers and the listeners tonight I hope we have heard what the catalyst himself said. Everybody needs a coach or a mentor or accountability partner. That's very important. Very, very important. I thank God that I have a coach now. Now, I'm not a coach, waiting to coach people. All right. TC, if someone wants to start, okay, let me just put these two questions together so that I will yield the mic totally. What are the tools, we need in self-reflection and deep self-reflection and life audits? That's one. Two, if someone wants to start this self-reflection today, what are the questions, or what is if it's just one question, what's the most important questions that they need to ask themselves? Those are my two questions, sir.
Thank you very much. I think
The
the
tools
tools
and
and
the
what
question we need to
the
ask.
question.
Yes, sir.
What have I kí ni mo ti ń fayé mi ṣe? What have I been doing with my life? I haven't heard all of these things that I've said tonight. You need to ask yourself. That's where the deep self-reflection comes. What have I been doing all my life? What have I been doing with my life? How have I been living my life? Is it serving me right? How should I be living my life? What kind of life should I be living? What kind of life do I desire to live? Second question. What is the gap? And how do I bridge that gap? Who can help me bridge that gap in the shortest possible time? And I have one answer for you. The Catalyst community.
Yeah.
The Catalyst communities is where you can, in the shortest possible time, is where you can learn and be equipped with the tools to bridge the gap. Whether it's the tool of meditation, or the tool of visualization, or the tool of prayer, or the tool of affirmation, or the tool of life coaching, or the tool of neuro-linguistic programming, or the tool of emotional freedom techniques, or the tool of quantum manifestation program, or the tool of MAP. Or the tool of purpose-driven life. There are just too many platforms. There are too many programs. There are too many tools and techniques. There are too many methodologies. Whether it's even my social media platform that you just go to, whether it's this clubhouse room, whether it's my podcast, whether it's my YouTube channel, whether it's my Spotify or my Apple channel, there are just too many things that I drop on a daily basis. Where have you been? Your environment shapes your destiny. The people, look, I tell people, show me your friends and the people you hang around, and I will accurately predict your future. Show me the kinds of people that are in your community, and I will definitely predict your future. The people that you hang around, are they going in the same direction as you're going? And is that direction the direction that God has ordained that you go? Is that direction the direction of most fulfillment, satisfaction, prosperity, peace, and joy? If it is not, it is time for you to invest in this community, because this is our mandate. We transform your life by transforming your mind. And why do you need mind transformation? The reason why you need mind transformation is because your laptop or your computer or your phone cannot work without its mind. And what is the mind of your phone? Is the operating system. So whether you use an Apple phone, which uses an iOS operating system, or you use an Android phone that uses an Android operating system, or you use a laptop that uses the Microsoft Office operating system, there is none of these devices that can function, or that can function at all without an operating system. Now, If that operating system has a virus, it cannot function optimally. And many of us are using the wrong operating system. Many of us have viruses in our operating system. And I am an expert in helping you, right, identify the right operating system for you. I'm an expert in helping you optimize the operating system that is in you. I'm an expert in helping you identify the viruses in your operating system and ensuring that that operating system is functioning well. Your soul, your spirit, and your mind is where your operating system and your software is. And it colors your life. So your life cannot be fully optimal without fully optimizing your operating system. That is your mind, which is the seat of your soul, and your spirit. I yield the mic.
Well. This has been an amazing session, and we're already 3 minutes past 9, so I don't think we have time for any more questions. But what we received so far is enough to, start us on that journey that TC has talked to us about today. So I think this is where I'm not going to ask any more questions, but I don't know if there are any questions in the chat that TC wants to respond to.
All right. So is there anyone that has a question? Wow.
I've thrown him out.
Is there anyone? I think the network is kicked out, Pastor Abraham. All right. Is there anybody that has a question? If you indicate with a show of your hands, I can bring up 1 or 2 people to ask that question. Anyone? All right. So thank you everybody for showing up today. It's really been an incredible and phenomenal day. Yeah, Kemi says that Maiwa had a question, but I've answered it. All right, fantastic. All right, it's been incredible, Mama. Where you've been simply phenomenal. Pastor Abraham, you've been simply incredible. And thank you, both of you, for showing up and asking those powerful questions. So, Mama, how can people find and follow you? Please share in the chat room. And also, just type it into the chat room how people can find and follow you. Pastor Abraham, please also share in the chat room how people can find you and how people can follow you. And I really advise that each and every one of us, we look for Mama Akwe, look for Pastor Abraham, and make sure that you follow them also. And I want to really thank you for showing up tonight. If this conversation has been of any benefit to you, I don't want you to keep it to yourself. I want you to share it with everybody you know. You can always share the replay. Go to my bio page, scroll to the bottom, and you'd find the replay there. Share the replay for everyone you know and with everyone you know on Clubhouse. But also, this episode is being recorded and will be put on my YouTube. So what I would like to advise you to do is to share it on YouTube, share it on Spotify, share it on Apple, and also subscribe to my YouTube, my Spotify, and my Apple. This has been a really, really interesting subject matter, and I hope that, the answers that I've given, the questions that I've asked have provoked you to be able to ask the right questions that will teleport you from where you are to where God has designed you to be, to where you deserve to be, to where you desire to be. Make sure you get 3 things. Make sure you get a coach. Make sure you get an accountability partner. And make sure you get a mentor. But better still, get a 3-in-1. On that note, I'm going to call it a wrap for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And so, good night and God bless you. And at a count of 5, I'm just...